Oh, hello there. This hour on Verbling, the next in my pronunciation practice series. This is a series where we work on all of those difficult to master pronunciation issues, and today will be no different. We're going to be working on something you might not have known about, but that there are actual rules when you have to deal with differentiating between the S and the Z sound, rules that come up in the way you position your mouth according to certain words. So we're going to take a look at what that means, some examples, give you a chance to practice in just a second. But first, let me do a quick introduction of myself. If everyone could just mute your microphones for a second, and we will get started. I'm just going to mute everyone for a second because I'm getting some noise in the background. Okay, here we go. I'm John Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, coming at you today from Lisbon, Portugal, to bring you this class. By the way, if you click on the link in the chat window, or my name anywhere in the Verbling chat, you will go here to my profile page. On the left, if you follow me, you can communicate directly with me through the message window, that little envelope icon in the top right side of the screen. On the right, you can book a class or a private tutoring session, and I'll work with you on creating a personalized learning program to help get you to your goals. If you're interested in the private tutoring, just send a message first so I can be sure that I have time for you in my schedule. Okay, I'm going to share the presentation. You should be able to see it now on screen. I'm going to give you a link, and then we're going to get started. So first of all, I'll give you a link in the group chat if you need it. And I'll give you a link in the Verbling chat as well. Ooh, that's pretty loud. And let me just say hello to everyone and make sure your microphones are working before we begin. So I'm just going to ask you to say a quick hello. First, hello Edson, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Okay, excellent, very good. Nice to have you back. And then I see a new face. It's Jatinder, is it?
Yes, good afternoon.
Hello Jatinder, how are you?
Absolutely fine, thank you very much.
Very good. And where are you from?
Actually, I'm living at the moment in London.
In London?
Yes, in the UK, United Kingdom, London.
Excellent. And where are you from originally?
Originally, I'm from India, northern part of India. It's called Punjab.
Punjab. There you go. Excellent. Okay, great to have you with us.
Thank you.
Then I see our old favorite, Mr. Awesome Jose. Hello, Mr.
Hello.
Awesome.
Hello.
Are you awesome today?
Yes, couldn't be better.
Could it be better? Excellent.
Yes.
Okay, then we have Mr. Mahmoud. Welcome back, Mahmoud. You were here the other day, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Fine.
Excellent.
How are you?
Very good, very good. And then we have, how do I say your name? Is it Now? How do I say your name?
I'm Now.
Now. Oh, it's you again. I remember you.
Yes, it's second time to join your class.
Yeah, but you have a different picture today.
Really?
I'm sure you didn't have that picture.
No, same.
I would have remembered.
But I just changed the sign. Last time my name was kanji, Chinese character.
Oh, right. That's right. I remember that. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Hello now. Nice to see you again.
Good.
And I see another new face. I see Mr. Sergio. Hello, Sergio. How are you?
Hello, how are you today?
Very good. Sergio, is this your first time with us?
Yes, first time with you in your class.
Okay, very good. And you're from Brazil?
No, I'm from Spain.
Ah, you're from Spain. Okay. Because you're next to a Brazilian flag, so I got confused.
Okay.
And where in Spain are you from?
The Canary Island?
From the Canary Islands.
Yeah.
What's the weather like in the Canary Islands today?
25 degrees
Hmm.
and a hot sun.
25 and hot sun. And what's the weather like every day in the Canary Islands? 25 degrees.
Just the same.
Exactly.
All the year, the same weather.
There you go. I'm going to move to the Canary Islands, okay?
Yes.
All right. Okay, and finally we have Mr. Wilson. Hello, Wilson. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine, and you?
Very good, very good. Nice to have you back.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's get started. Oh, and Giancarlo. Hello, Giancarlo. How are you?
Hello, teacher. Good morning. Fine, thank you.
Giancarlo, I thought that you were leaving us in November. Are you still here?
Well, November the 12th.
Oh, November the 12th. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a look. If you don't have the material, you can click on the link if you want to see it bigger or you want to download it for later. I'm going to be updating this presentation, so if you download it, remember that I'm going to be adding to it in the other classes. Give me just a second because I have a slight allergy problem. One moment. I guess I'm a little bit sick today. I'll try not to sneeze in your nose. I'll turn off my microphone when I'm going to sneeze, and that will save you all. So we're going to be looking at the difference between the S and the Z sound, and when it occurs naturally in English, why it occurs, how to position your mouth, and what kind of rules you need to help guide you along, to help you remember when you need to say the S or the Z, particularly when you're looking at plurals or possessives. Those are the cases where we need to use an extra S in the word. Let's take a look. So, in this first unit, we're going to be doing things related to these sounds. We're not going to only do the sounds. We're going to be doing a focus on words and syllables, connected speech, how we sound when we speak fast, intonation as well. There's going to be 4 parts. Today's class is just the sound and spelling part, but there'll be 3 other classes in the next 3 Mondays, okay? Then we'll move on to Unit 2, etc. And we'll build up a picture of the language over the next, I think it is 12 units. I put 12 units here, now I'm not sure. But anyway, it's going to be a very comprehensive picture of the language. So as you see, we're going to learn that voiced word endings produce the S sound, and voiceless produce the Z. Did I do that right? Carrots. No, I did it wrong. It's exactly the opposite. This is what happens when you do your overview right before you're going to do the class. No, I mixed them up. It should be voiceless produce the S and voiced produce the Z. I will correct that. Sorry about that. Let's see what we mean by voiced and voiceless. Okay, I'll correct this for you later, but let's see what we mean. 3 of the nouns below are always uncountable. We'll see what this means too. All the others can be plural. Write an S on the end of the noun, that can be plural. So let's see, before we get into the sounds, let's see a context where we need to make the sounds. When I say uncountable, let me just ask you if that's clear. Can you give me an example of something that is uncountable in English? Can anyone
Rice.
think? Say again?
Rice.
Rice.
Rice is uncountable.
Good, good. By the way, say that again. Not without the tap, without the r. Rice.
Rice.
There
Rice.
you go. Very good.
Rice.
Okay, and you can check it. Because can you make it plural? Can you say 1 rice, 2 rices?
No.
No, you can't. And another way you can check it is, can you say some? If you can say some rice, then you know it also works. You're absolutely right. So rice is an example of uncountable. It's an abstract noun. We think about it as a group. We don't think about it as single things. But wait a second. Rice is made of single things. What do we, if we actually want to count rice, what can we make plural? Any ideas?
Grains of rice.
Grains of rice is exactly correct. So rice is uncountable. I'll put that in the chat window for your notes, because at the end of class it might be a good idea to copy and paste some of the notes, the corrections, and the suggestions that I give you in the chat window. So there's a grammar point. But we'll follow up with that second grammar point. To make an uncountable noun into a countable, you must add a word. And not all the words are going to be the same. In this case, we're going to say grains of rice. So rice remains uncountable, but grains can be countable. Okay, let's do one more quick example. Let's say we go
I
for
think
it.
grains come with the R, letter R.
Oh,
R.
that's a typo. Sorry.
Okay.
Let me erase that. When you refresh the chat window, it will erase that, and I'll add the R. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay, let's do another quick example. Let's see who's out there. Mr. Oh my God, Jatinder. I couldn't say your name. Jatinder, how are you? Hello, Jatinder?
Hello, you can call me JT.
JT.
That's better.
Mr. JT, is the word water countable or uncountable? The word water.
It's uncountable noun.
It is absolutely uncountable. You're correct. If I want to make it countable, I cannot say grains of water, but how can I make it countable?
Can I say a glass of water?
Exactly. So, make it plural, though. 1 glass, 2.
Yeah, 2 glasses of water. Yeah, 3 glasses of water.
Are you saying glass, or I don't hear the S?
I said 3 glasses of water. If I said 3 glasses of water, that's plural.
That is, but I don't hear the S at the end of the word. I don't hear the S. I want to hear glasses.
3 glasses of water?
That's it. Very good. So in this case, glass ends with an S, and we need to add an extra syllable. Glasses.
Glasses.
That's it. That's it. So we add the extra syllable because it already ends with an S. We wouldn't be able to hear the S if we didn't add this extra syllable at the very end of the word. Okay, I think you got the idea of countable and uncountable. Let's take a look at the examples. Mr. Edson, government is countable. You can say governments. What about the second word? Is it countable or uncountable?
Computer is countable. You can say computers.
Good. And that's the right pronunciation too. It sounds like an S. Computers.
Yes.
Right? Excellent. Giancarlo, the third. Take a look at the third. Giancarlo?
The third, what is the third? Sorry.
The first column, third word. Sorry. First column, third word.
First column, third word. 1, 2, 3. Change.
Okay. Is it countable or uncountable?
Changes. It's countable.
Exactly. And the pronunciation again?
Change.
Make it plural.
Changes.
Changes. Is that the S or the Z sound?
S. Changes.
Changes or changes?
Changes with S, I think.
With a Z. With a Z. It's written with an S, but the sound is like a Z. So I'm gonna make a quick note in the chat window. This is a good example. Chain. You're absolutely right that it's written with an S, but the sound is a Z. Because listen to the difference. If I said it with an S, it would be changes. If I say it naturally, changes. Like zoo. Changes. Can you hear the difference? Changes? Incorrect. Changes. Correct. Can you hear the difference, Giancarlo?
Yes, John. Changes and changes. Changes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta buzz it. Zzz, changes.
Changes.
That's right. That's right. So it would be wrong to say it as the S sound, as the S. Okay, and you're going to see why in just a minute. Mr. Jose, the fourth word in the first column. Can it be plural? Jose! I don't hear Jose. He's not connected. Uh-oh. Let's go to Mr. Mahmoud. The fourth word in the first column. Can it be plural?
Yes, mistakes.
Mistakes. Good. So is that the S or the Z sound?
S sound.
It is. Mistakes.
Mistakes.
Not mistakes. And not mistakes.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. Make a mental note which one is S, which one is Z, and which one is. Make a mental note as we go along, because we're going to work out the rules in just a second. Ms. Now, take a look at the last word in the first column.
Information.
Can it be plural?
Information. Uncountable.
Uncountable, correct. It cannot be informations. Not possible. Okay. Mr. Sergio, look at the first word in the second column. Uh-oh, I don't hear you, Sergio.
Sorry?
First word, second column.
Okay. Minute?
Okay. Can it be plural?
Yes.
Of course. Say it for me as a plural.
10 minutes?
10 minutes.
Minutes.
Good. Good. It's the vowel sound is not oo, but it's an minutes.
Oh, okay. 10 minutes.
Minutes. Minutes.
Minutes.
Okay, it's good. It's
Okay.
good. And is the ending, is it a s, a z, or an is? Minutes. Listen, minutes.
It's
Is
an
that-
S.
It's an S. It's an S sound. Minutes. Okay, so far so good. Let's do one more. Mr. Wilson. The second word in the second column is?
Homework.
Good.
I think it's countable. Homeworks.
Homeworks. Guess what, Wilson? It is not countable.
Is not countable.
No, no. One homework, two homeworks doesn't exist. We only say do your homework. It doesn't matter if it's 1, 2, or 3. Now, you can have many tasks to do as part of your homework. You can have many exercises. But homework and all work is just work. So the word work is always uncountable. Homeworks doesn't
Homework.
exist. So it's homework.
Okay.
And that's it. We've got a few other words there. We've got prize, weapon, game, traffic, language, and tourist. I'm just going to ask you which ending you would say with these remaining words. Edson, machine, which ending? S, z, or is?
Machine, let's see.
Say it again.
Machines.
Wait a second. There's no cha. Machines.
Machines. And Z.
It's a Z. Machines. A Z is correct. JT. The next word is prize. Is the ending s, z, or is?
Is it the prize?
Almost. You got to add a syllable. Add a syllable. Prizes.
Prizes.
That's it. That's it. So this one is the is ending. Prizes. Notice that glasses of water and prizes both take the is ending. You have to add a syllable to give it the is ending. Notice that and look at the letters. Prize ends with a Z and glasses ends with an S. That's not a mistake. It's not a coincidence. That's actually part of the rule. Mr. JC. We got JT and JC. Mr. JC. Weapon. What's the ending?
Weapon is S. Weapons.
Weapons. Weapons. You know what? I think this one, weapons. 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 You know what? I think this one could go either way. One weapon, two weapons. One weapon, two weapons. Honestly, I think you could say both.
Really? Why?
I'm not sure because there must be weapons. It should be the Z because weapon because of the N. It should be a Z sound, but weapons. But it doesn't sound unnatural to say it with an S either. So according to the rules we're going to see, it should be the Z. But it doesn't sound strange to say weapons because, you know, you can kind of swallow the last syllable and therefore you don't need to voice it. So it kind of makes sense. Anyway, according to the rules, I'm sure we're going to see that it's actually the Z sound, weapons, weapons. And that has to do with the letter N. Okay? Mr. Jose, first word in the third column is game. What's the ending?
Games. Games is countable.
Okay, with a Z or an S?
S. Games.
Games or games?
Game or games?
Games or games?
Games.
S or Z? What do you think?
S.
I know it's a letter S, but is it the sound S, or is it the sound Z? Z.
The sound.
Listen to me. Games.
The sound Z.
It's the Z. Games.
Is the Z?
Right.
No, yes.
Okay. Let's do the last three, and then we'll go to the rules. Okay? Mahmoud. Traffic should be?
Traffic, uncountable.
Uncountable. I thought I was going to trick you.
No.
You cannot say traffics. Doesn't exist. Okay? But now, language is countable. So
Yes.
what should that be?
Languages.
Wait. Oh, you're not now. You're Mahmoud.
Yeah, the similar now and now.
I'm going to call you Ms. N from now on. Ms.
I
N.
am. Languages.
Languages. So you have to add the extra syllable there. Languages. And the last one goes to Sergio. Tourist is what? Sergio? Tourist becomes?
Tourists.
Tourists. Good. That's difficult to say for most people. Tourists. There's a little s at the end of it. Okay. So basically I'm hearing good pronunciation. Let's see if we can work out why these words have a different pronunciation. Notice the different ways that the S is pronounced at the end of these words. Governments with an S. Computers with a Z. Changes with the extra syllable and the Z. Is. Listen again to the plural nouns and write them in the correct columns. Well, you can't write, but you can decide which column they go into. In this particular case, because we've done it, I'm just going to read it once and tell you what goes in which column, because we've already done this. So out of the words we heard, in the S column, well, let me ask you, besides government, what else went in the S column? Give me one other word that went into the S column that we just saw. Anyone? Uh-oh, no one has any long-term memory. Uh-oh. No one? Really? Oh my goodness. What if I turn the slide back? Which one of these do you remember goes in the S column? Class? Anyone? Anyone? Anyone?
Mistakes.
Mistakes is correct. Good. Tourists. Very good again. Okay. I was worried. I thought everyone fell asleep. Minutes is also good. In fact, that's all of them. Governments, mistakes, minutes, tourists. All of those four. Okay? Let's take a look at the Z column. computers. Look at the list and tell me what else goes in the Z column.
Weapons.
Say again?
Weapons.
Weapons.
Games.
Gamers.
Games. Good.
Changes.
Machine.
Prizes.
Prizes. Hang on a second. Changes and prizes don't go in the Z column because they have an extra syllable.
Oh.
But weapons does. So, to summarize, computers, machines, yeah, weapons, games, good. That's it. And let's take a quick look at the is column, the extra syllable column, changes, and what else? I already heard it.
Prizes.
Prizes, and one more. One more. Uh-oh.
Names. No, languages.
Languages is correct. Not machines, because that doesn't have an extra syllable. Languages. So the three words that go in the is column are changes, prizes, languages. Okay? Probably you're already getting the idea about why different words have a different S sound. Why there's 3 different S sounds. I bet you can already tell me the rules. But if you're not sure, let's make them really explicit. Here are the rules. The rules are really simple. It's what I said in the beginning. It's the difference between voiced and voiceless. So first of all, let me just clarify what that means. You've probably heard this before if you've been in my classes. To know the difference between a voiced and a voiceless consonant. By consonant, I mean anything that's not a vowel. So not A, E, I, O, U, but A, B, so B, C, D, F, G, etc. The difference between them is this. If it's voiced, you can take these 2 fingers, you can put it here in this little area, which is called the external notch, because it's right above the sternum, and you can feel your vocal cords moving if you put your fingers here. So if you say the word, let's see, rather, you can feel the vibration of your vocal cords. That is called voiced. When your vocal cords are working, when they're vibrating, it's voiced. But if you say, for example, to sit, you can feel nothing's happening here when you say sit. He sits. There's no vibration at all. That is called voiceless. And there's one more case, like languages, which you'll see in just a second. But those are the 3, well, voiced and voiceless, that's the first thing you need to understand. So when you know which letters are voiced and which letters are voiceless, you will never make a mistake with the S and the Z sound. Let's see if we can work out the rules together. Mr. Wilson, I want you to read Rule A and tell me what goes in the blank, if you could.
If a noun ends with the sound of S, Z, ch, z, or z.
Almost. Wait. Let me just correct you on the last one. Okay. The last one is J, like John.
J.
Good. That's it.
The final S is pronounced S.
The final S is pronounced S. Let's see. Let's see if that's true. If the sound ends in an S, what if we say glasses? Uh-oh. Wait a second. That ended in an S, and it did sound like an S. What about a word that ends in sh? Fish. Plural is fishes.
Fishes.
Yeah, fish can be uncountable or countable. It's got 2 versions. If it's countable, it's fishes. So, if the final S is pronounced as an is in those cases. If the noun ends in S or S, Z, sh, ch, j, like measure, or j like John. Only in those sounds the final S is pronounced like an extra syllable. Is.
Is. Okay.
Does that make sense, Wilson?
But class end with S, and we say classes, not classes.
That's exactly right. It's the extra syllable. Classes. Oh, you mean it's not a Z sound. You mean it's an S sound. Is that what you mean?
Yes, that's all.
Classes. Classes. Okay. The truth is, Mahmoud, it's a Z sound, but as I was saying to John Carlo a little earlier, depending on where you're from, you can get away with making it more like an S, depending on what region you're from. Like for me, it doesn't sound strange to say classes with an S, but strictly speaking, it should be a Z sound. You can make a softer Z sound, but it should really be the Z. The extra syllable with the Z is classes. So in other words, different regions have a different pronunciation. Some will be a stronger Z, some will be a weaker Z, but it should really be the Z sound, strictly speaking.
Can you give an example of each ending in the first sentence, the letter A?
Yeah, sure. So, glasses is the S sound. Oops, let me put the a little symbol there. Glasses. Ending with a Z. Ending with a Z. I can't think of a Z. Let me do the sh sound. So I said fishes. That's the sh sound. I'm going to have to write SH. The symbol is a long S. It's a long, flat S sound. A symbol. Okay, but I'm doing the fishes. The next one is the ch. So for that, we could say benches. That's the ch sound. Benches. Okay? And after that, we have the j, like measure. What word ends with a j sound? I can't think of one right now. I have to look it up. I can't think of one offhand. And the last one says the j, dodge. So, or lodge, lodges, and that's this j as in John sound. Lodges.
Lodges.
Okay. That's the first rule. That's kind of the most difficult of the three because you have specific sounds. Basically, what it's saying is if you want to add an S to a word, and it already has an S, you need to add an extra syllable. That's what it's really saying. But as you can see, not all S's are equal. Some S's sound like a S, some sound like a Z, some sound like a sh, some sound like a ch, some sound like a j, and some sound like a j, like lodges. So these are all sounds that are formed in the same part of the mouth where you make the S. Okay, letter A is difficult. Letter B and C are much easier. Let's see. Mr. Giancarlo, can you read rule B for us and tell us what goes in the blank?
Yes, let me. If a noun ends with any other voiceless consonant sound, P, T, K, F, or O?
That is not an O. It looks like an O. That O with a cross is a TH, and the sound is th, like thin. Th.
Th. The final S is pronounced S.
The final S is pronounced like a S. Just to be clear, like a S. Okay?
Like a S. Okay.
That's right. That's right. Give me a second here. Oh, lost my page. So think about now. What that means is, if you have a voiceless sound like p, t, k, f, or th, It's also plosive consonants, consonants that force you to blow out, p, like pop, right? Those are, it's difficult to make any other except for another voiceless sound, and S is voiceless. But look at rule C. Logically, rule C is going to be about voiced consonants. So let's go to, where are we? Let's go to Mr. Edson. Can you read C for us?
Yes. If a noun ends with any other voiced consonant sound, B, D, G, V, I don't know how to pronounce the next.
So let me help you out. First one is B,
B,
D,
D,
G,
G,
V,
V,
Z,
Z,
L,
L,
M,
M,
N,
N,
G, Ng.
G,
Not G, not G, but Ing, like talking, or
like ing, like ing.
yeah, like ing. It's but the G is very soft. So ing. It's also like champagne. It's kind of the, or gnocchi. It's like a ny in your nose. So you find it in English when you have the ing. Ing. Nasal. Nasal N, basically. Nasal N sound. Okay, what do you think goes in the blank? It's got to be voiced, so what's the only one left? What do you think?
Yes, it's pronounced. No idea.
No idea. Oh my God, there's only one left. The only possibility left is the voiced sound. Look, all they're saying to you is, if it's voiceless, you have to give a voiceless S, which is S. If it's voiced, like B, D, G, you have to give the voiced S, which is Z. Because you can feel your vocal cords moving when you make an S, and you move your vocal cords, you can feel them moving when you hear the sound Z, like zoo. So voiceless S is S. Voiced S is Z, Z. So the Z is really just a voiced S. That's what they're getting at. Okay. Any questions about these three rules? Any questions? Are we good? If we're good, then let's move on. Let's jump to exercise 5 here. The rules above are the same for the third person S. Okay? So now that you know the rules, just ask yourself, does it end with a voiced or voiceless consonant? Or does it end with something like an S? If it ends in something like an S, it's rule A. And rule A states that you have to add the is. If it's voiceless, it's got to be a voiceless S, which is S. And if it ends with a voiced sound, your vocal cords are moving, it's got to be a voiced S, which sounds like a Z. Z.
Can you speak very quickly this again, because I didn't get very well.
Let's go back for a second. Okay. So, take a quick look. Let me just, sorry, Saeed, I just need to mute you for a second because you're getting lots and lots of noise in the background, okay? So, it's it. Look at rule A, okay? You there, Edson?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. With letter A, a word that ends in an S or something similar to an S is going to give you that extra syllable. So think of a word that ends in an S. Doesn't really matter which. I said glasses. Think about any word you can think of in the English language that ends in an S. Anyone. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? It can't be a
Oh,
plural word. It's got to be a singular word that you're going to make plural.
word.
Word ends in a D.
Oh no. Let's see.
It's difficult to think abstractly like this. But let's take a look at the word word. Okay, Edson? Word. So, where does that fit in our rules? A, B, or C? Where does that fit?
C.
Exactly. So that means that the D moves your vocal cords so it's voiced. So what kind of sound do we give it? When we add the plural, what do we give it? S or Z?
S.
Yeah, Z. Okay? Wilson gave us the word glass in the chat window. So what would that be as a plural? It's
Glasses.
glasses. Because glass ends with an S, so that we can make it clear that we're making it plural, we put a little in between. We put a little in between the two S's. Okay? And there you go. Ms. N, tell us about your word. That's a good example. Ms. N. Sorry, Saeed, I just need to mute you because we're getting lots of noise. You need to put headphones on or something because we're getting lots and lots of noise from your side. Okay, Ms. N, Ms. Now. Tell us about your example. That's a good example.
Cheese.
Right? So that already ends in something like an S. So how do we make it plural?
Cheeses.
That's it.
Cheeses.
Cheeses is correct. That's right. Very good. So that's a good example of Rule A. That's it. Edson, does that help a little bit?
Yeah, now I got it.
Okay, so let's practice. Now that you got it, let's practice. The first one's done for us. Reach. That ends in one of those S-like letters. So if you look, that ends in the ch, which you can see is the 1, 2, 3. It's the fourth symbol in Rule A. Looks like a T and a kind of a long thing. The fourth symbol, that's the sound, that's the IPA symbol for ch, like cheese. So reach becomes reaches. Let's go around the room and try it out. Okay, this time I'm going to go around the room backwards, starting with Wilson. Wilson?
Yes.
Second one. What's the pronunciation?
Watches.
Okay.
Watches.
That's
watches.
perfect.
Easy sound, like as the first one. Ease. Watches.
Right. Perfect. That's excellent. And Sergio, the third one, what would that be?
Remembers.
Remembers. Okay. So remembers. So is that the S or the Z sound?
It's an S.
It's a Z.
I see.
It is. Because look.
I hear an S.
No. You hear Z. Because remember, your vocal cords are moving. Put your fingers on your throat and feel. Remembers.
Remembers. You're right.
Right.
Yes.
So that one fits with Rule C. In fact, the R sound isn't written there, but it should be. It fits for Rule C. Remembers. Okay?
Okay.
And as I said earlier, different people from different regions have a stronger or weaker Z sound. Okay? So it might sound like an S, but it could be because the person has a not such a strong Z. But it really is a Z.
Okay.
All right? Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to Ms. Now. Ms. N. Look at the fourth one. What's that?
Rises.
That's super easy. So easy, I'm going to give you another one. Look at the fifth one.
To rise.
Okay. With a Z. Good. Tries. Excellent. Mr. Jose, the last one in the first column.
Yes.
What do you think?
I think
It's not a trick.
wishes.
Absolutely perfect. That's it.
Yes.
Okay. It ends in something like an S. And anything that ends in something like an S, if you go back here, fits with rule A. You add the
Rule
extra
A.
syllable.
Yes.
That's it. Okay, very good. I think you're all getting the hang of it. Let's try one or two more, and then I have a little activity for you to do. Mr. Giancarlo, the first word in the second column is?
The first one is hops.
It's an S. And what about the second word in the second column?
Fixes is like
Is
Z.
right, like an extra syllable with the Z. Yeah, that's it. Mr. Edson, try the next two. The third and the fourth.
Kisses expects.
Okay,
Like
it sounded good to me.
Kisses
So you got the
kiss is rule 1.
That's right. Rule A. That's right.
And expect is rule B.
That's absolutely right. It's voiceless. So, if it makes it easier for you, you could say rule A is that kind of extra syllable. Rule B is voiceless, and rule C is voiced. Because that's what you're really doing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now that you got the hang of it, let's look at something tricky. What happens when you have a bunch of consonants with an S? It asks us here to put the sentences into the correct order. There may be more than one possible answer. But the real thing is, how can we say all of these S's together? Mr. Wilson. But, speak, Spanish, Swedish. I don't. Unfortunately, I. What do you think?
I don't speak Spanish, unfortunately, but I speak Swedish.
Or, I don't speak Swedish, unfortunately, but I speak Spanish.
Yes, the other way around, yes.
One
So
or the other.
Yes, I don't speak Spanish, unfortunately, but I speak Swedish.
Okay. That's it. That's it. Very good. And the real thing is the pronunciation. Okay? So, do we have an S at the... We don't have any S's at the ends of the words. Oh, don't we? I speak is singular. Sorry, first person, Spanish, but unfortunately I don't speak Swedish. We don't have any pluralization. So the S at the beginning of the word, is always pronounced like an S. That's really what we're learning here. The S at the beginning of the word stays an S. There's no case where it switches, at least none that I can see. So that's our moral for this story. Mr. Sergio, Steve doesn't slowly vary, speaks he. Uh-oh. What's the right order?
Steve doesn't speak very slowly.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
And
Uh-oh.
he?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, wait a second. This is a sentence with a question tag. A question tag is when you make... You know what that is?
Yes.
Okay, try it again. Try it again. So put the doesn't in the question tag at the end.
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. The doesn't is not the main verb. It's the second verb. It's not important. The main verb is the verb to speak. Put that in the beginning. Steve?
Steve speaks.
Good. How does he speak? Very
Slowly.
good.
Doesn't he?
Perfect. That's it.
Okay.
One more time. One more time.
Steve speaks very slowly, doesn't he?
Very good. The S in speaks. Is it a S or a Z?
And it's
an S. It's
yes.
rule B. It's
Excellent.
voiceless.
Exactly.
Excellent. Excellent. Ms. N. And snowing Scandinavia, it's Switzerland was Sunday Spain on in. Oh my God. Ms. Now, are you up to the challenge?
In Spain. Oh, In Scandinavia.
Find the verb. Find the verb.
Was it? No, it was
Good.
snowing.
Yeah. Good. Where?
Spain and Switzerland in Scandinavia. Huh?
Right. When? When?
When?
Mm-hmm.
Sunday.
Okay, good. You're just missing the prepositions.
It was snowing in Spain and Switzerland on Sunday. Okay. Scandinavia. Oh.
It's okay. Just add 3. It was snowing in Scandinavia, Switzerland, and Spain on Sunday.
Okay.
That's it. And what you see there is S's at the beginning sound like an S. But, Ms. N, look at the verb. Say the first 3 words of that sentence one more time.
It was snowing.
Good, just that. What does the S sound like in the verb? Is it a S or a Z?
Z.
Exactly. It was snowing. Look how they blend together. It was snowing. So the S sort of transforms into, the S becomes a Z, it was, and it transforms back into an S for snowing, and they link together. It was snowing. Try that for me slowly, Ms. Now. Say that slowly. It was snowing.
It was snowing.
Okay, good, but then
snowing.
Yeah, it was snowing. And if you're speaking fast, you can probably just drop the Z altogether. It was snowing. It was snowing. It was snowing. You just drop it if you're speaking quickly because it's too difficult to put the Z and the S together. So you just drop the Z in fast speech. Okay? So if I say fast, it was snowing. If I slow that down, it sounds like it was snowing. It was snowing. It was snowing. Because the T becomes a D, and it transfers over to the was. So I say it, then the T becomes a D, dwa, and then we drop the Z and we go right to the S in snowing. It was snowing. It was snowing. It was snowing. Like that. It was snowing.
It was snowing.
That's it. That's it. All right. Mr. Jose. Sports started. He playing, smoking, has stopped, and
Okay.
Mr. Jose.
Yes. Yeah.
What is it?
He started.
Good. Good. Keep going.
And has stopped smoking.
Okay, good. Careful. Not stop it. Stopped.
Stopped. Yeah, yeah, stopped smoking.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, say it again. The whole sentence.
Yes. He started playing sport and has stopped smoking.
Okay, good. Has. With a Z.
Has stopped smoking.
Exactly. So the only Z in that sentence is has. But again, Jose, if you're speaking quickly, you could drop the Z, like has stopped. You could just drop the Z only when you're speaking quickly. But if you say it word by word, you have to say the Z. So slowly, and has stopped.
Okay. It's clear.
And has stopped. Yeah? Okay. We got one more here. It's up to you, Mr. Giancarlo. Letter E. And this one, I can't even see it. What is it? Oh, spare Stephanie Squash plays and time in swimming her goes. Ooh.
Okay. Stephanie goes swimming.
Good.
And in her spare time plays squash.
Very good. You could say that in many ways. You could say Stephanie plays squash and goes swimming in her spare time, or Stephanie goes swimming and in her spare time plays squash. There's more than one right way to say it. Okay, so are there any z sounds in that sentence? Are there any z sounds?
Maybe plays.
Plays is a z sound. That's it. Okay.
Goes.
Goes is a z sound. Correct. And that's it. There aren't any others. Now, if we say it quickly, Stephanie plays squash. We say it like this: Stephanie play, and we drop the z if we're speaking quickly. Stephanie plays squash and goes swimming. So we say go instead of goes. So in connected speech, you're going to drop the z sound like this. Stephanie play. I'm going to do it in my way, which was Stephanie plays squash. I'm going to put that first. Stephanie plays squash. Play squash. So I literally say play instead of plays, because when I'm speaking quickly, it's difficult to make that sound. Okay, let me hear you say it fast, Giancarlo.
I'm sorry, which one?
The same, Stephanie. I'm doing it in a reversed word order, but you can.
Okay, Stephanie plays squash and in her spare time she goes swimming.
Okay, good. But if you're going to slow it down like that, you can't say plays squash, because that would be wrong. If you slow it down, it's got to be plays squash.
Plays. Stephanie plays squash, and in her free time she goes. And in her free time goes swimming.
Good. Let's try it fast now. I'll say it and you repeat.
Yeah.
Play squash.
Play squash.
Definitely play squash.
Definitely play squash.
Not definitely. I said Stephanie.
I'm sorry.
Stephanie plays squash.
Stephanie plays squash.
Okay, good, but you're adding, I hear you're adding an extra syllable. You're saying plays squash. You're adding an Listen to me. Stephanie plays squash. It's a smooth connection. Plays squash.
Stephanie plays squash.
That's perfect. That's it. And goes swimming.
And goes swimming.
Good. That's it. Okay, so the rule there is when you're speaking quickly, you use the S sound. Just connect it like a little bridge between the words. Okay? That's it. So today, we've gone over some rules and given you some practice with these rules. And now you know that a word ending in an S, a Z, or something like it, one of those sounds, forces you to add an extra syllable. A word that ends in a voiced consonant, which you can feel here, like or something like that, will force you to add a second syllable. Will force you to add the Z sound. Questions before we go?
Just one question. Are those rules valid for every word?
They are universal in every dialect of English for every word. They are fundamental rules. And they happen because of the position of your mouth. So it's something that you can't help do. You're forced to do it because of the position of your mouth when you have a voiced consonant, like rather, and you want to say, well, that's a bad example. You can't make that plural. Bumper, bumpers. It's too difficult to go from the voiced to the voiceless S. It's too physically difficult because your throat's already vibrating. So you're forced to add the voiced S, which sounds like a Z. So it's a biological fact. That's what you got to see, Edson. It's a biological fact because of the position of your mouth and what your throat is doing. All right, we're going to stop here, but I'll be back in. It's going to take me at least a minute to reload the slides, but I'll be back for Business Basics, where we're going to do a special business activity. You're going to be presenting yourself like you would in a kind of stressful situation. We're going to be doing a game of business speed dating. I'll tell you all about it in just a minute. Stick around. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.